Hello class, this is a continuation of angle relationships on parallel lines and on at vertices. So let's take this example question here. Here we have a diagram, and we have to calculate the value of these angles. And we're using letters because we don't know what they are. Rather than leaving them blank, we'll leave this one as A, that one's B, and that one's C, but they're all values. So let's start with the most obvious one. We remember from angles at a vertex, or vertically opposite, since this angle 135 is directly opposite to angle A, we can say that A is equal to 135 degrees. And the reason that we're going to use for that, we have to write this each time. The reason that we do that is, the reason for that proof is it is vertically opposite. And just for the short form of it, I'm just going to write it as vert op, vertically opposite. So A is now 135. I'm just going to do it in pencil because we don't actually have to write the values on there, but just so that we can remember, that's 135 because it is vertically opposite. Now, what other uses can we do? Well, I'm just going to go for the simplest one. Can we see how this is a straight line? Since that's a straight line, these two are supplementary angles. Keep it in blue, black. So we know that C plus 135 is equal to 180 degrees, which means C is equal to, what's 180 minus 135? Let's calculate that here on the side. 180 minus 135, that becomes a 7, 10, 5, 4, that's 45 degrees. C is equal to 45 degrees. And the reason that we know that to be true is that because they are supplementary angles. And again, we'd like to be really lazy, so I'm just going to make it supplementary angles. Because we know supplementary angles add up to 180. Well, so we know that C is now 45 degrees. Well, I can see two ways of finding B here. B, we can say, is vertically opposite to C. Can you see that? It's directly opposite to it. Since we know that B is equal to C, but we know that C is equal to 45. C is equal to 45. So B equals C, which equals 45. So, but that must mean that B is also equal to 45 degrees. And the reason for that, we said, was it was vertically opposite. There's another way that we can do this. We could have looked at 135 and B. It is also supplementary. So we could have also done it as B plus 135 is equal to 180. Because look, if I block this, can you see how that is a straight line? That's a straight line. That one there. Therefore, they are supplementary angles. And if we do the same thing, 180 minus 135, we got the solution already. we did it before. 180 minus 135 is 45 degrees. And that is also, we could say, supplementary angles. So there we have it. B is also equal to 45 degrees. Okay, let's do another question here. Let's grab a little bit more complicated. Let's make a 90, let's make another one like this. It's very similar, except we are going to make this one, I'm going to add another line here. And that makes this 90 degrees. We'll label this one, we'll label this F, we'll label this G, and that's E. Let's try to do this in alphabetical. Oop, I missed one, sorry. This should be 120 degrees. So let's try and solve this in alphabetical order. So let's find E first. Okay, if we want to find E, what can we do? Well, we know that there, if I block this for you, can we see that? If I block that, can you see how that is a straight line? Since it's a straight line, we know that these two add up to 180 degrees. So we can conclude that E plus 120 is equal to 180 degrees. Which must mean E, if we do 180 minus 120, that must be 60 degrees. We always have to give our reason, remember? So our reason is they are supplementary angles. Okay, so now let's go in order. E, after E must be F. Oh, well, what reason can you see here from E to F? Well, there are two ways we can do this. We can use vertically opposite, or we can use the supplementary angle again. See, can we see that? E to F is vertically opposite because they're directly opposite at this vertex. Or we could do the exact same reasoning that we did here. We can block this one here and view it as a straight line again, like that. That's a straight line. F plus 120 is 180 degrees. But just so that we have a variety, we'll say that F is equal to E, but E, we've already calculated, is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, and then so we can conclude that F is equal to 60 degrees, and that reason that we have is that they are vertically opposite. Vertically opposite. And we'll do one more. Last letter, G. Okay, G is a little bit tricky because if you take a look, it is not vertically opposite. Can you see? G, if we want it to be vertically opposite, it had to be this one here. But it's not. It's that angle. Okay, so because of that, we can't just use vertically opposite. However, can we see this 90 degree? This 90 degree and G are both of them together, take a look, are vertically opposite from this one. So because of that, we can conclude that G plus 90 degrees is equal to, so G and this one together, because they're on the same angle, must equal 120 because they're vertically opposite. So that is 120 degrees, which means G must be 30 degrees, and the reason for that is that they are vertically opposite once again. Okay, so let's now, I hope you got the idea of that there. So we're using these reasonings, these relationships to find the value of angles. Let's do one more. Okay, hang on. You get some paper. Let's get rid of this one. Whoops. Some paper going on here. Let's go with this question right here. So we want a parallel line this time. Here we go. Let's draw a parallel line. Looks a bit like that. And we'll have our transverse line go through like that. So here are our parallel lines. And let's label our angles. So we have 83 degrees. That's all we're going to be given. But in order, we're going to get A, B, I want us to do C, D, E, that's F, that is G. We are going to go alphabetically. We're going to go about doing this with using as many relationships as we can. Here we go. Well, what's the first relationship that we can see here? Can we see that there's a Z going on? It's a backward Z, like that. And we remember that Z's or Z's are alternate angles. And we remember that, I hope you remember, that alternate angles are equal. So A and this angle here, 83, are equal. So if that's 83, that must be 83. So therefore A is 83 degrees. And we have to give our reasoning, that is alternate angles. Alternate angles. And let's be lazy. Here's our short form. Alternate angles. So we're done with A. So let's tick that off. So now we want to get B. What relationship can we get for B? Well, we can do this in two ways. Take a look. We have co-interior angles. If you remember letter C. So these are co-interior angles and they're supplementary. Or we can view it like this. We can view it just like those two. And that's angles on a straight line. Okay, and angles on a straight line are also supplementary. But let's use that one first. So 83 plus B. So B plus 83 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And the reason for that is that straight line. They are supplementary angles. Supplementary angles. So let's solve what that is there. So B must be, what is 180 minus 83? 180 minus 83. Okay, so that's a 7. So it's definitely going to be a 9. That is 97 degrees. B is 97 degrees. So B is done. We want to go to the next letter, which is C. Well, this time I think I'm definitely going to use co-interior angles. That one there, can we see that? It's a backwards C. And that is co-interior angles. We're going to use this. So we know that C plus 83 is equal to 180 because they are co-interior angles. Okay, because those two are co-interior. So then, well, if that's also 83, we've already done this, haven't we? Look, B plus 83 is 180. C plus 83 is 180. So therefore, we already know that C is equal to 97 degrees. Now, do you see the interesting thing that could have happened? Had we done alternate angles, see, B and C are alternate angles, we would have had the same answer. See, B and C. B is 97, so that's 97. C is 97, that's 97. And they are also alternate angles. We have that letter Z there, the letter Z, sorry. Letter Z going on there. See, take a look. Good. So we want to get to the letter D. Okay, so let's try and get a variety going on now. Take a look. If that is 83, because A is 83, isn't D vertically opposite? It's directly opposite to it, isn't it? So because of that, we know, I should move slightly here, we know that D is equal to A, but A is equal to 83 degrees. Because we already found that from the very start. 83 degrees. And we'll use the reasoning of vertically opposite. So where D is done. Well, how about E? Well, E is also vertically opposite from C. So E is equal to C. So let's take a look. They are vertically opposite from one another. Therefore, E equals C, and C is equal to, we already found it, is 97. And it's also vertically opposite angles. So we're done with those. E is done. How about G? Let's get some variety going on here. Can you see the corresponding angles? And with corresponding angles, the letter is F. Take a look. We have the letter F going on there. You see that? Letter F. And it's these angles underneath the F. So we know that G is equal to, remember corresponding angles are equal, so those angles must be equal. G is equal to A, but A is equal to 83. Okay, so 80, and that is corresponding angles. That's the reason that we had. And let's make it, let's go be lazy, corresponding angles. So G is done. And let's do the last one here. F, letter F again. It's a backward F this time. And their corresponding angles once again. So that one and that one. So we know that letter F is equal to C, but C is equal to 97 degrees, and that's also corresponding angles. We have solved this problem, and we have found the values of all of them. So let's draw this again with all the values. So we'll draw the same one. There's our question. That's 83 degrees. That's what we started with. And let's draw in black the answer that we found. Well, A is 83. A goes here. That's 83 degrees. Sorry, 83 degrees. B, on this spot, we found is 97. So that there is 97 degrees. C, we found, C is there, C is 97, so that there is 97. We've answered all of them. This one here must have been D, was 83, D is 83, and E was 97, so that there is also 97. A, B, C, D, E, F. F was, oh, A, B, C, D, E, F was, I just realized I switched G and F. That doesn't matter. F is 97, which leaves us with G, which was 83. So now it's your job to give it a go, find questions out there, and best of luck.